Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Heart of Christ Ministry. I am your host, Reverend Sean Robert Grant. Happy to be back. I know it's been spot duty for the most part of this year, but it's actually been a matter of me feeling intuitively when I need to come forth with the message. And today's message is bound to change your life if you're ready to receive it, because I'm ready to give it to you. And I really and utterly feel like it can change the scope of things financially. A couple things here I want to mention real fast. If the internet starts to act a little funky and stuff like that, just give it a beat, let it kind of recalibrate, and then we'll get right back in. I'll just hold off, and then once it comes back online, then I will continue this episode. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you, in addition to that, before we get into a couple things for business-wise, if you believe that money is a good thing, if you believe that money is something that you can do endless good for yourself and for your loved ones and anybody else you come into contact with, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this video is for you. Okay? This video is for you because this is something that everyone needs to know. This is something that's been concealed for so long, and it has people kind of running up against a wall, so to speak, without really making any headway. But I feel like part of one of my passions, strong passions, is to be able to help people to not create financial freedom, but more importantly, allow, right? Because we're all abundant by nature from within. Okay. And so in understanding that, it's just a matter of clearing out everything, all the conditioning, and then allowing that abundance to come through for you. All right. So if you understand that, if you trust that, if you believe that money is a good thing and it's an opportunity for you to be able to do good things for your loved ones, for your friends, for anybody you choose to be, then you are in the right place. All right. Before we get into that, though, a few things here. If you have any questions about this segment after I'm done with it, or any prayer requests, right? Feel free to send us a message at seang04@gmail.com. And also, if you feel that this message benefits you in some way, shape, or form, or messages in the past have benefited you and you want to sow a seed or you want to just donate, feel free to do so. Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, seang04@gmail.com. And what I want to tell you here, though, is if you do wind up donating, no matter how much it is, you will receive the Endless Prosperity Pack, right? You will receive the Endless Prosperity Pack. And what the Endless Prosperity Pack is a sequence of 5 videos that I've done in the past that will help you go from zero to complete financial freedom. In addition to this video that I'm going to give you today, I'm telling you, it is worth every minute to watch. And like I said, it just depends on how committed are you to manifesting more freedom and more money into your life. And so we're really going to dive in today. And as the title states, right? So then the Endless Prosperity Pack, it's really quite amazing. I've watched all those videos a few times and I feel like it's helped me along tremendously. So any gift that you give, that Endless Prosperity Pack is yours. Okay. So moving along here, today's message, Heart of Christ Ministry 2021, the number one secret to an endless stream of money. All right. So one thing I want to clear up here that I think is so very important to understand for everybody is that when we talk about an endless stream of money, we're not talking about paper money. We're not talking about physical money. We're talking about money as it relates to your consciousness, which as a result becomes that physical money, becomes the numbers in the account, becomes even the Bitcoin, whatever it is. Consciousness has no limit to the form that it can take. So, you can be rich in the US, you can be rich in Europe, you can be rich in Australia, you can be rich in Costa Rica, no matter what it is. I found money on the ground from Costa Rica the other day. It was like pretty amazing to think, but That's what happens when your consciousness is rooted in pure, full out abundance and wealth, right? Which then turns itself into money. So today, this message is truly about the understanding, right? It's truly about the understanding, the number one secret to an endless stream of money. And so this has kind of been something that has eluded more people than who actually get it. And the truth of the matter is that some people will never get it, because if you're not willing to listen to your inner guidance system, right? Your God, whatever you want to call it, spirituality, benevolent spirit. If you're not willing to listen to that inner speaking of your heart, you're going to miss it, because it's going to sound, one, too simple. And then two, it's going to sound like something that doesn't really make sense. But I'm here to tell you, it makes all the sense in the world. And if you decide to take it for what it is and implement it and use it for yourself, you will discover the truth of materialized abundance, which is money, this and that. Tell me something. How much do you want freedom? Right? How much do you value freedom? How much do you value being able to pay your bills and pay your rent without even having to worry about certain instances, right? There was times where, like, I struggled really hard. And then there's times where, which has been of late, I can pay my rent in 2 months, right? Oh, sorry. 2 times in 1 month, I can double it off, right? But it's a simple shift that takes place that allows us to be in that position where we can be more comfortable, where we can be at ease, where we can have what I like to call, and I said on a podcast before, financial peace, right? Because when you got peace around money, you become more intelligent, because intelligence comes from within. So intuitively, you're able to manage your money better because of that peace. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, what I want to start with first and foremost is what this number one secret is not. Okay, it's not your job. It's not the government. It's not your investments. Okay, so there's a bunch of people that probably just closed the computer and left, because what do you mean it's not your job? It's not your government. It's not your investments. Here's the thing. Money is not something to be worked for. Okay. And there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with me there. But the truth of the matter is, money is not meant to be worked for. It's not something that you work your tail off and give up your time and give up your entire life for. No. Right? We've been conditioned to think that way. And then we offer our entire energy and life and time to a job for 30, 35 years. That's an old paradigm. That's not the way that it's set up in order for money to be able to produce into your life in a way that transcends work, right? So when we think about jobs, let's say jobs, for instance, if you got a job, I can tell you right off the bat from experience, your boss is not interested in making you wealthy. Your boss is not interested in making you rich. And best believe, if your boss is paying you a high wage, you're going to be working your behind off. Like, that's just kind of the nature of it. Like, people think that, oh, more money means more work, but that's not the truth, right? The truth of the matter is an expanded consciousness, right? A conception of money within means more of it without. Right? Has nothing to do with the job, the government, or the investments. Nothing whatsoever, right? All a job does, a job can be considered as something that keeps you financially, I don't want to say stuck, but maybe stagnant is the word. Because here's the thing. At a certain point, there's only a certain ceiling you can get to, right? And like, I remember talking to somebody and having them ask me the question, well, what about, like these athletes, these entertainers? Well, guess what? You look at any type of athlete. Yeah, you might look at their salary and they're making, the money that they're making, but think about the time that they have to put in and then think about how much the actual ownership is making compared to the player, right? So even though it's a higher ceiling, it's still a ceiling, right? And that's because the idea is if I work hard, money's gonna unfold. Money's gonna like, more money's gonna come in because of more work. But see, that's a myth. That's an old paradigm that needs to be shifted completely out of our consciousness. Jobs, they can do good for a bit of time, but when you begin to evolve into your true self, into your divine self, where God within is leading you and, basically leading you in unconditional love, you're going to discover that. Why would I give all of my time and energy to something that does not fulfill me in the process of implementing it, of doing it, right? You start to scratch your head. You'd be like, wait a minute, why have I been doing this all these years? Right. And so all of a sudden, a job just becomes something that says just over broke, right? Man, I used to meet a whole bunch of people would sit and tell me, Sean, man, I'm like two paychecks away from being homeless. And I'm like, what? How is that even? Like, all those hours you put in and you're 2 paychecks away from being homeless? Something is not right with that, right? Now, I'm not saying go quit your job, but I'm saying reassess whether or not it brings you fulfillment, because if it brings you fulfillment first, the money is going to be endless. But a lot of times that's not working for somebody else. That's either working for yourself or maybe stepping into independent contracting, or, the beauty of it is the inside will tell you what direction to go in. Okay. And then the last two, the government or the investment. So the government, we already know they're not in it to help us, right? They give welfare to keep people at welfare status, right? A lot of times, and you might have seen this meme somewhere said by these billionaires, a check is something to keep you from growing. A paycheck is something to keep you from growing. And what does that mean? It means that if you're aware that something is going to come bi-weekly every 2 weeks, you can be comfortable, right? You can be, oh, I'm getting paid next Friday. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Everything will be cool, chill, whatever. It's all good, right? And so what happens is you never really have to grow, because a lot of times when it's time for us to grow, what will happen? We'll start losing stuff, right? The perfect example, somebody loses their job. That's the divine saying, okay, it's time for you to spread your wings, because you're going to expand out of that comfortable bi-weekly paycheck thing. And now you're going to make some real money where lump sums are just dropping into your life, right? There's a concept to this, right? And a lot of times when we lose something is the very point where we have the opportunity and potential to gain everything that will not just fulfill us, but make us happy and also allow that abundance to flow in completely. So getting back to the government, like I said, welfare, these stimulus checks that came through and stuff like that. How much do you think that helped people? Some very little. Right? Because guess what? They say, okay, we're going to send you $1,200, and all of a sudden everything is peachy, fine, whatever. And I mean, come on. Some people can't even pay their rent with $1,200, right? It's just the reality of it all. Like, you need more than $1,200 to be able to feel comfortable without losing your mind and getting worried and caught up in stuff, right? But all I'm saying is that's just another outside entity, which I kind of just piggyback on number 2. But it's just an outside entity. All these are, you look at investments, you look at stock markets, right? All these things, they're channels to money, but they're not sources of money. Okay. The source comes from a different place. And on that point, I want to say, it's not found anywhere outside of yourself. Okay. It is not found anywhere outside of yourself. And the sooner you know that, the more you're going to see your life transform around money. And here's why. When you go after money as this physical thing, as this paper, or these, these numbers on a digital computer and you start thinking of it that way, that's the lowest vibration of money, right? When you start thinking about money in an expansive way, you're going to a whole nother realm, and that realm is inside yourself. Okay? That realm is inside of you. Okay? Keep that in mind. I stop a bit because I really want you to get that. The number one secret to an endless stream of money, endless stream of abundance, is not found anywhere outside yourself. It's not found at the job. It's not found from the government. It's not found from investments, not found at the stock market, not found from mom, dad, uncle, not found from inheritances or anything like that. Those are all results. Those are all effects of the cause. There we go. Like I said, anytime that happens, just, give it a beat. And as soon as I get back, we'll jump in right where we were. So those are all effects of a cause that lies within you. Okay. And let's get to the number one secret right here, right now. Here we go. The number one secret to should be an endless stream of money is this: be at one with the infinite wealth, prosperity, and abundance within yourself, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and it will be reflected in your reality. That is the truth. I want you to read that, take a screenshot, whatever you got to do. Understand that this is the number one secret. This is the number one secret. I know it. I know it through experience. I know it because I've used it, and I'm telling you, trust me, have faith in this. This is how it works. Okay. And so this is why this works. Okay. We all have a mind. We all have a divine mind that is connected to the universal mind of God. Whatever we think and whatever we think with feeling or over an extended, long, elongated period of time, that very thought, feeling, emotion, whatever it is, belief is going to be reflected on the universal mind. Well, basically, the universal mind takes it and reflects it back into your life, right? Sometimes at first it comes as a thought, right? It may come as a thought. It may come as a feeling. It may come as an intuitive urge to do something that's in reference to what you've been thinking and feeling. But here's the thing. All of this consists of a consciousness, and consciousness is what lies within your mind, heart, soul, and spirit, all that good stuff. Okay, so when we make sure that we are convinced, and that's the key word, conviction. When we are convinced, when we have the conviction that the endless stream of money, the endless stream of abundance, of substance, of prosperity, of all that amazing financial goodness is within here and within here, and we feel it with conviction, guess what? It has to show up in your reality. It's universal law. Universal law states, as within, so without. The Bible states it too. As in thought, so in manifestation, right? As in thought, so in manifestation. So if we are holding an idea, right? Because ideas are divine. If we're holding a divine idea that I am the endless expression of wealth. I am the endless expression of abundance. I am, whatever you want to put behind it, but you feel it and you feel it long enough. See, here's the trick with the subconscious mind. Most people think that it can just drop in instantly. A lot of times it requires an extreme amount of emotion for that to happen. But if you feed your subconscious mind through repetition over and over and over again, what you're going to see is the subconscious mind is going to pick that thing up and it's going to reflect it to life. Because here's the thing. Life is just reflecting you, your circumstances, your reality is just reflecting. It's an external equivalent to the mental equivalent you have within your mind, right? As well as emotional and spiritual. But everything that you think, all that stuff is a direct correlation to what you manifest, right? So let's say, for instance, you're looking at your life and all of a sudden you see that you're struggling financially to some degree, right? What does that tell you right off the bat? That tells you right off the bat that there are some blockages within your being, within your thinking. And a lot of times it's easy because you can ask, okay, what's blocking me from the natural flow of abundance in my life, right? What's blocking me from the natural flow of abundance in my life? And when we understand, right, that we're naturally supposed to experience endless streams of money and resources and everything else, we're naturally supposed to experience this. When we know that, right, at that point, there's nothing that can stand in our way. And here's the thing. The universe is so benevolent and so divine, and God is so doggone good that it always attempts to bring you back to that level of abundance that you want in your heart. Because who doesn't want more money to do more good for themselves and the people they love, right? Why not? Why not? But it starts in your consciousness. It starts in here. It starts in here, right? And the thing is, you got to feel it. What makes it convincing? What turns it into a conviction? Because the power of our conviction, right? The power of our lives is our conviction and what we know to be true. The power of our lives is in our conviction of what we know to be true, right? You're looking at your life. Your life is a direct reflection of what you know to be true within your heart, within your mind, without a doubt. It's just a belief you're holding. And the beauty of it is, if it's something that you're not vibing with, you can change it, right? So if there's a struggle, right? If your job is not paying you or whatever, or if you feel like, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, I'm ready to move myself up to a higher level of financial intelligence, financial freedom, financial standing, right? The first thing I got to do is, okay, what's going on inside myself? Does my consciousness, which is my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs, my actions, does my consciousness reflect somebody who's wealthy, who's experiencing riches, who's experiencing an infinite amount of abundance, right? That's all you got to ask. Does my consciousness reflect that? Because that's the cause. And once you figure out the cause, guess what? The result shows up automatically. Right? So once we discover the cause, everything else is easy because it's just stepping into it. But once you figure out what the cause is, and it can be something as simple as too much negativity around the idea of abundance, believing more in lack than you believe more in abundance, right? Thinking the worst. And I'll tell you, worry, anxiety, stress are a straight killer to your financial life, right? And the reason why, it's not that it's going to stop the flow from coming in necessarily, but you'll have no peace around it, right? This is where you meet like these multi-millionaire billionaires and they're just absolutely losing their mind. And you're thinking to yourself, well, you have all this money. Why are you losing your mind? Because guess what? Don't matter how much you got, unless you have the consciousness within to be able to handle it, it's going to cause you issues. 70% of lottery people, that's why they lose all the money. And that's why they have issues, because if you don't have the self-image, the self-worth, the self-love, the consciousness within to handle that type of money, it's going to eat you alive, right? It's going to eat you alive. So what do? We go within first. And we understand, once again, be at one with infinite wealth, prosperity, and abundance within yourself, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and it will be reflected into your reality, right? All that is as a man thinketh, so shall it be, right? As in thought, so in manifestation. What we hold to be true in our mind and hearts will be true in our life. Okay, I'll say it again. What we hold to be true in our minds and hearts will be true in our lives. And so if you can sit here and think to yourself and know with conviction, and not even just that, but know with conviction, but then realize God created me to be an infinite, limitless, eternal, expressive, expansive being. Because of God's love, because of the love of the universe, I am supposed to live in lavish, unfailing abundance, right? Because remember, it's natural. It unfolds automatically, just as my heart is, my lungs are breathing, taking in air, and my heart is beating, and my cells are doing whatever it needs to. Abundance works just like that, unless we've gotten in the way of it with lackful thoughts. Okay. So when the thoughts are lacking, that's when we dive in. Okay. What's hindering me from expressing abundance into my life? And I guarantee you're going to receive it in just a matter of time. Could be right after, could be a bit of time. But once you figure it out, okay, go deeper, right? Because oftentimes the thing is it's just unprocessed blocks and emotions that are standing in our way of expressing a limitless amount of money in our lives. And just know it is the divine's plan for you to be rich. Every single person, every single individual in this world is supposed to be rich. It's supposed to be prosperous. It's supposed to be abundant, but we have to tap into it. And the only way to tap into it is through our consciousness. Okay. Our consciousness, our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our soul, whatever our soul is holding, right? And all you got to do, the moment you get off this, and if you really want to take this seriously, just look at your life, right? And ask the simple questions. Okay, am I able to pay my bills easily, right? Do I work because I have to, or do I work because I enjoy it? Right? And be honest with yourself, because this is not about judgment. This is about just getting down to the nitty gritty of it all. Right? And do I have money left over to do fun things? Right? Can I do everything that I choose to do that is in alignment with my heart? And these are questions you just ask yourself, because it's going to reveal your consciousness. And if it seems off, good. Right? Because that's the first step. That's the first step into getting you on that level to financial prosperity, is discovering, okay, because if the within is reflecting the without, all you got to do is fix what's in here, right? Sometimes that means just letting go of what's within inside of you, and bam, all of a sudden you see shifts, like check shows up in the mail. You find, like, multiple times this year, I found $100 bills walking, whatever. I just find $100 bills just like that, like always finding money on the ground. And it's because I've shifted my consciousness to know that I can receive money at any point in time in my life from any outlet. The universe, God, spirit is not limited to how it can bring it through me and then mirror it back into my life. It's limitless, right? There's no limit whatsoever, and you can have that as well, if you're not doing it already, just by shifting what you feel within. And just be patient. Be patient with the process, because keep this in mind. If abundance is your inheritance, if wealth is your inheritance, if prosperity is your inheritance, your divine inheritance, meaning the moment you were conceived, it was brought with you. Life wants to take care of you. Then life's going to give you every single thing to get you to that place where that abundance can be. You can align with it, right? You can align with it. And the number one thing you want to do is just start loving yourself. Start loving yourself tremendously. Stuff that doesn't make you feel good, get rid of it, right? question, evaluate it, right? Is this for me? Is this something that I need to kind of, you know, is this something that I need to keep or just let go of? Right? Because here's the thing, we can't get back time in life. We just got to keep moving and keep making the very best of everything. Okay. There goes my phone. With that being said, guys, number one secret, endless stream of money right there. Be at one with it within yourself, right? There's no such thing as money outside here, or anything else. This is the cause within. It all starts here. It all starts here, right? When you have it there, trust me, you will not think about struggling at all, and your life will reflect it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. A couple comments there. Send me an email, which we'll get to right now. There you go. There we go. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to email us, SeanG04@gmail.com. We'll get back to it as soon as we possibly can. Any questions about this, if you want me to elaborate on it, I'll be more than happy to. Not a problem at all under any stretch of the word. And if you found this message helpful, if you found this message right up your alley and you feel like you're on your way to riches, and you're excited about it, feel free to donate at Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, SeanG04@gmail.com. We appreciate you very much for doing that. There you go. Oh, God. Okay. No worries. All right. There we go. Okay. Oh, gosh. Yeah. I think that's it. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. It's kind of wonky, but anyway, we're finishing up. So yeah, if you feel like this message has benefited you and you want to sow a seed into this ministry, feel free to donate. Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, SeanG04@gmail.com. And this is what I wanted to tell you. If you sow a seed of any size, you will receive, once again, the Endless Prosperity Pack, which is 5 videos, 5 compilation videos that takes you from zero to financial freedom. It's worth every second to watch because, you know, who doesn't want to have more money in their life, right? Oh, gosh. There you go. Okay. Endless Prosperity Pack with any gift that you decide to give today. And guys, thank you so much for joining me. It has been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, if you have any questions, email me. Other than that, we will talk soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Every dream begins with a vision that sees everything before anyone else ever can, a vision that ignites the endless power to make all your dreams come true.